Welcome to Little Friends. Today, we're delighted to share the heartwarming story of the selfish giant. Enjoy the tale. Once upon a time, in a small village, there was a beautiful garden owned by a giant. The garden was the most beautiful place in the village. It had lovely green grass, colorful flowers, and tall trees where birds sang sweetly. Every afternoon, children from the village would come and play in the giant's garden. They loved the garden dearly, and their laughter filled the air with joy. But one day, the giant returned from a long trip. When he saw the children playing in his garden, he was very angry. "What are you doing here?" he shouted. "This is my garden, and I will not allow anyone to play here." The children, scared, quickly run away from the garden. The selfish giant built a high wall around his garden and put up a sign that read, "Trespassers will be prosecuted." From that day on, the children had nowhere to play and were very sad. With no children playing in it, the garden changed. The birds stopped singing, the flowers forgot to bloom, and the trees stopped bearing fruit. The once beautiful garden became cold and barren. Snow and frost made their home in the giant's garden, and it was always winter there. The giant could not understand why spring never came to his garden. One morning, the giant heard the sweetest music. It was a little bird singing outside his window. He jumped out of bed and looked out. To his amazement, he saw that the children had crept into the garden through a hole in the wall. They were sitting in the branches of the trees, and the trees were so happy to have the children back that they had covered themselves with blossoms. The giant's heart melted as he watched the children play. "How selfish I have been," he thought. "Now I know why spring would not come here." The giant looks regretful and thoughtful as he watches the children play. The giant went out into the garden and gently knocked down the wall. "From now on, my garden will be your playground forever," he said. The children returned to play in the garden every day, and with them came the birds, the flowers, and the trees' blossoms. The giant's garden was once again the most beautiful place in the village. The giant was no longer selfish. He played with the children and found joy in their laughter and happiness. He realized that sharing his garden brought him more joy than keeping it all to himself. And so, the selfish giant became known as the kind giant, and his garden was a place of joy and laughter for many years to come. Remember, kids, happiness grows when you share it with others. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Little Friends for more enchanting stories and fun adventures.